Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends watching in North America. And hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Melbourne, Australia. If you're joining me, please say hello in the comments so I know who's following along. I'm glad you all found me today. I'm going to start by reminding you that it is celebration time here in Australia and around the world for Stampin' Up! And that means that with a minimum purchase, you can choose one of these great free products from our catalog. And I can show them to you. The ones with the flags, we're still waiting on them to arrive here in Australia, but they will be here soon. And we will, this one has arrived. I can take my flag off. And that means they are now available for you. This lovely rainbow, Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper is available for free when you make a $90 minimum purchase. And it coordinates with a great bundle we have in the mini catalog on page 18. There we go. So you can see this Rainbow of Happiness bundle. And then you buy the bundle, which is the stamp set and coordinating dies. And the bundle is $77.25 plus a few other bits and bobs that you need, like maybe the sequins, Sparkle and Shine sequins to put into a shaker card. And then you can get this Sunshine and Rainbows paper that coordinates with it for free. So lots of great opportunities to do things like that with Celebration and this fantastic new mini catalog. I just got a number of things from here on Monday. And somewhere I will find the hedgehogs that I wanted to show you. Anyone who's followed my personal Facebook page, and perhaps on my business side too, will know that I do like hedgehogs. I just think they're very cute. And I will admit, I actually started really liking them when I found the Penny Black brand of really cute hedgehogs. Stampin' Up! Used to have some that look very similar, but hasn't in quite a while. But I thought this set was cute enough to warrant getting it. Here we go. So there's the set, and here's what they are showing with it. And there it is in real life. So I have a couple of ideas, and it's the bundle. It has the stamp set, and it's got a builder punch. And here's the builder punch. So I've got one that's going to focus on using the builder punch, and I've got one that's going to focus on the stamps and punch together, I believe. So some of this are still just in my head a little bit, but we're going to work this through together. So here we go. Hi, Paula. Nice to see you. I'm glad you made it home from your dad's. Okay, so I did do a little pre-work on my first card concept because I kind of needed to know that things were going to fit. And I'm going to do a slimline type card. It's not, so in the mini catalog there are new slimline envelopes and some slimline dies. I'll show you here. These are the envelopes. I just got these, and they come in white and smoky slate, I think, and soft succulent, and they have this neat printed liner type bit and this nice cut end. So it's not a traditional envelope. But I did not choose to use one of those for this card. I went with a regular, what in the US we would call a business envelope or a number 10 envelope, and here in Australia, and I don't know about Europe, they're called DL size envelopes. So it's a little bit, it's just a skosh wider, like half a centimeter wider and maybe half a centimeter shorter. It's not quite the same proportions, but that's what I'm working with today. And I've got some designer series paper from Beauty of the Earth. The other side is that, but that's not what we want to use for this. This has a sky. And I used some other Beauty of the Earth in variegated greens to cut a couple of trees. And I've made a bush or a shrubbery out of, so these two pine trees are from, what is it? It's the stamp set is Mountain Air and the dies are Majestic Mountain. And then the bush comes from Beautiful Trees, which is part of the Beauty of the Earth bundle and suite. So, and then I didn't want them just floating in the sky, as it were. So I have been working on making some ground, and I'm going to finish that up on camera. And what I used was this curved basic borders die, and I ran it through 3 times. The way I was able to get partial cuts is I put my plate, when I positioned the second die, I put the plate where I wanted it to start cutting and not over the whole thing, so it didn't keep cutting down into here. See here, I missed a little bit, but I think that's going to be okay because I think it's going to be covered by that. So I'm going to pull out my snips and finish cutting these fully apart. I didn't want to just pull them and have some ragged edges. So I'm going to snip there. And snip there. And then we'll do a little bit of playing to see if we actually like how that looks. My first one, I did that and I cut a little too far, and it also wasn't quite long enough, but I came up with some ways to work around that if needed, but then I decided to try again. So let me move those. I'm going to move the card base too. We're just going to work right on there for now. And turn this the way I actually want it to go. See, because I've cut it extra long, I can position it where I want. So I can be sure that that is covered. So there's my shrubbery. And then these are going to go back here. So, and I will work on getting that just right. And that's going to give it a little more depth on there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that's going to work, I believe. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cut out or punch out my my hedgehog. And these are the colors I've picked for the hedgehog. Crumb cake, soft suede, and then black. It's got 2 little dots there to make some eyes. So let's see, we're going to do, and this has adhesive on the back. I'm not going to use adhesive on this one, I believe. I don't need adhesive, and that keeps me from being able to pop it up if I want to. There we go. And then this one, I think, again, I don't think I really need, so let's not. I happened to have it, I was like, ooh, it's got adhesive on it, I'll grab it. But I think maybe I'm better off not, because then I can put it whichever side I want. So, there we go. Punch out. Hee hee. Or I can have it that way. By not doing the adhesive on the back, I can choose how I want it. I'm going to wait to the very end for the eyes. But I liked, in the catalog I just saw, they added texture to the top of the hedgehog with an embossing folder. So I'm going to do that, I think. And I'm just going to do that off screen for a moment. Hang on there. Okay, so there we go. Can you see the texture there? Hi, Gladys. Glad you could join me. Yeah, so I used the bark embossing folder just to add some texture. Okay, I'm going to do a little scene building here, I think. I'm going to try, where are my, I'm going to try adding some mini dimensionals to this layer. See if that works to pop it up a bit. Yes, you can cut even these minis in half. Let's see how that works. Okay, so we go. Yeah, just gives it the dimension that I want. That's it. Okay, so now we're going to put this on about there. Getting it flush with the bottom of the Designer Series paper. Get rid of that excess glue. And now it's very easy to come in with my snips. And trim that to a line. There. And, oh, except I wanted these tucked back behind there. Okay. Yeah, that was my bad. Okay, so ideally I would have done this with adhesive sheet on the back, but I didn't. So I'm going to show you my other technique for getting glue onto very fine things. And I could do lots of little dots, but we'll try one that way, see how it works. Sometimes it's more of a pain. And really, I just have this little bead of glue that's right there. I'm really not even squeezing. I'm just touching that dot of glue onto this. And I'm glad I'm using this silicone mat because you can see I've got dots of glue that came through. And it just keeps my paper from getting covered in glue. Okay, so there's that one. And the other way that I do it is I have a little wedge of Stampin' Sponge. Now that these have been discontinued, you could use a sponge dauber instead. And what I do is I make a little pool of glue and I smear the glue all over this, and then I just tap it on the back. Of course, I probably wanted to trim this to the height that I wanted before I glued, because it won't go all the way in. There we go, like the accident, like I didn't forget anything. So there we go. And then what I'll do is I'll rinse this off and I'll rinse out most of the glue there and save it for the next time. Okay, this one I can just glue. This one I'm going to use some tear and tape. I am Let's try the glue. Because it's got so much texture, I'm putting more glue than I normally would for a piece that size, just to make sure it is getting, enough glue is getting contact between the two pieces. There we go. Okay, let's try punching a couple of eyes out of here. There we are. Now, I'm not even sure where on here they should go. Oh, maybe we just need the one. That would be it. Now, is it easier to put a drop of glue or to get the backing off this little itty bitty thing? That's going to ultimately be the question. There we go. There's the backing. See, I want to position it like right here where the two meet up. It's a little messy, so I kind of want to hide that. I could have him just emerging from the bush, but maybe we'll have him a little away from the bush. Him, her. I think maybe we'll pop her up too. Okay, now, wondering about a sentiment. So the two that come in here are, it's so nice of you to be so nice, and finding a friend is the best discovery of all. Very cute. Not sure that's what I want. I'm going to leave that for the moment. We're going to work on the next card, and we'll see what we ultimately decide to do. There's my mat here. So I've got a piece of basic white, and I'm going to bring in, so this is an interesting question. Yeah, that one fits. But this one does not fit in the punch. Okay, that's fine. They're not hard to cut out by hand, but it's just nice to get a sense of what I'm doing here. Bring in a block. And I've put my mat there because, as with a photopolymer stamp, it does not have a built-in cushion the way our red rubber stamps do. So this gives me a cushion to get a really nice impression there. That stamped nicely. I'm going to stamp a mushroom. And let's go ahead and stamp the other hedgehog too. Why not? And I think I'm going to do one more thing here. I have this in my scrap basket. I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp this tree. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in some of my blends. And I did just get a whole new range of naturals. I'm not so familiar with their coloring, so it's going to take me a minute here to figure out exactly what I want to do, but not too long. I hope. Okay. This is the medium deep. No, this is just plain old medium. It's the dark one of the medium. I need to come up with I need to do a swatch sheet so I can figure this out quickly, but I haven't, so we're just going to do it on the fly. I'm starting with the mushroom. I don't know why. Gladys, did you get these new blend colors, the naturals? or not yet. I'm pleased that they have made this effort. They're sort of marketed as, or maybe more than sort of, as being a better range of perhaps skin tones, more than what we have had anyway, which is just ivory and light. Oh, ivory and bronze. No, I can't tell what I used. Oh my goodness. I think that's what I used. I'm gonna go totally different for little spots on the mushroom. We'll just that's Daffodil Delight. Okay, that doesn't look too out of bounds there. It's interesting to me, Gladys, they didn't actually put, like, they're marketing them to us as light, dark and light, and medium, dark and light, and medium deep, and light deep, dark and light. But on the sides, they actually have numbers. So this is like SU 900, and this is SU 800, SU 700, SU 600. So I wonder if they're going to be like, and then 500. I wonder if they're going to be more like Copics from here on out, where they have the numbers and you can get an idea of things off of that. It seemed to me, as I was labeling them yesterday, that the higher the number, the lighter the color. So that's, I suppose, one way of telling. I wonder if they'll come out and explain it to us at some point. Because the plastic package was labeled with the name, deep, medium, deep, whatever. But like I said, the barrel of the marker itself is not labeled that way. the way it is here, where it says, you know, dark crumb cake. Here it just says SU 900. So, I don't know. So, that was the light crumb cake, and this is the dark crumb cake. Let's see how that goes. Go. I like these. Whoops, I need to do his ears. I forgot your little ears. Sorry. Okay. Oh. So this is Granny Apple Green. Color in the grass a little bit. Okay. I'm going to bring in this one. Gonna do the grass again down here. And I think I'm gonna do the leaves in the dark Granny Apple Green. Hey Nikki, nice to see you. I'm working with the new Happy Hedgehogs set, and I'll show you the first card I worked on in a moment. Okay. Okay, this one is called Deep Light. See how it goes for the trunk. Okay, and now flowers. This is Flirty Flamingo. I think that's what I want to do. Deciding. Yeah, we're gonna do, I think, petal pink. And I'm using the light on the open flowers. And then this is the dark. I'm using that on the buds. And in the centers, really. There we go. Okay, so let's punch out, yeah. So with a little planning, you can actually position this on your paper so you can punch this out more easily than I've made it possible to do. But here's the hack. You put a Post-it note behind and it acts as a handle. So you can maneuver it to get it positioned just right, really. There we go. That can be reused. And you just peel that little bit that's stuck on there off. And these other two, either stamp them directly on, or it won't take very long to fussy cut. those guys. Get that out of here. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing here. One of the things I think I am doing is putting in some ground all the way across here. Like so. The same light green apple green I used on the 2 sprigs of grass there. I'm gonna stamp first. And on this one, I think I do want to use the Finding a Friend is the best discovery of all. Bring my mat back in. It's time to change up this cover just because it looks cluttered. But there we go. Had I realized what I was doing, I could have just stamped this one flat on there, but this works just fine. Let's get a little straighter. And then these guys are going to go on with dimensionals. The tree is part of the Happy Hedgehogs. Okay, I'm liking that. Now we just need to figure out our base layer. Here's where it becomes apparent I didn't do any prep. This one. Kind of gets lost there, doesn't it? Better? Oh, you like the green. I was just thinking the green pops more when it's not. Kind of matched in there. Still playing. That's not quite it, but that's a possibility. If I cut that to the right length. Hi, Marilyn. Nice to see you. So what do you think that? If I put a little bit of green behind where the ruffled edge is. Let's get that the right length. What do we think? I'm thinking maybe so. Yep. Do some more dimension, because why not? Get it even? Almost. Oh, there we go. I think it needs a little shimmer. So, little wink of Stella. Little wink of Stella on my flowers. And I know you guys aren't going to be able to see the shimmer, but I am. For those of you who don't know, this is a clear brush marker that has very, 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 very fine glitter in it. And it just makes anything you touch with it sparkle. See if I can get that to show on the camera. Probably not. Anyway, there it is. That's card number 2. Go back to card number 1. And this is just using the punch with its it's got 2 layers and some eyes. And I used the bark embossing folder to texture the quills on the hedgehog. And I used cutouts from Majestic Mountain and Beautiful Trees to make my trees and my shrubbery. And yeah, still thinking about a sentiment on there. I'm gonna go grab one thing and be right back. Sorry about that. I still have some things out in my other room from my class. So these are from another celebration set called Special Moments, and I'm really liking a lot of these. So there's a happy birthday that could go up there. Or just a card to say you're amazing. What is this one? For someone who is wonderful in each and every way. Or I could just leave it blank and be able to put whatever I want inside. And I think that's what I'm actually going to do. So sorry about that, but I do like this. Just a little high from me. That would be cute. But yeah, there are my 2 cards for today. Thanks for joining me. Yes, the sky is Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. And then I used, well, you can go back on replay and watch this, but I used this basic borders die several times to cut the Pear Pizzazz layer at the bottom. And you'll see on the replay, if you go back, I placed the die and I ran it through to a certain point. I didn't do this on screen, but I explained it. And then I moved the die, and I just ran it through to a certain point, and you'll see where it kind of overlaps a little bit, but I have been strategic and covered those spots with my die cuts, so, or punch pieces. Yeah, so that's how I did that. And yeah, that's what I've got for you today. I'll be back again, same time, same place next week. Don't forget to place orders to get your free Celebration products while they are available. And thank you for joining me. I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.